Repair Clinic makes fixing things easy, with millions of replacement parts available on our website and the help you need to do the repair yourself. Since we encourage you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Most top-load washer repairs will require some disassembly of the appliance. Before you attempt this, be sure to unplug the power cord and shut off the water supply valves. To make it easier to move the appliance, remove the hot and cold water supply lines from the inlet valve. Be prepared for some water to spill out. You can remove the drain hose as well by releasing the retaining clamp and pulling the hose off of the coupler. To replace the agitator cogs, lift up the lid and remove the fabric softener dispenser or agitator cap. Lift out the cover and, if applicable to your model, use a 1/2-inch square drive to unthread the agitator retainer. With the retainer loosened, you can lift off the upper agitator. Remove the retainer and spring if applicable, along with the cam and cog assembly. Use a small flathead screwdriver to help release the retaining ring if required. Slide the ring off and you can remove the old cogs. Install the new agitator cogs by aligning them on the cam. If required, replace the retaining ring and press down until it locks into place. Insert the cam and cog assembly in the upper agitator, then hold the assembly in place as you reposition the agitator. Insert the retainer and spring, if applicable, into the cam. Then use the 1/2-inch square drive to tighten. Realign the cover. Then snap on the dispenser or cap. To access control panel components, detach the 2 end caps by pulling them off from the top. Use a Phillips-head screwdriver to unthread the 2 screws, securing the control panel. Lift up the control panel to reach the timer and selector switches. To replace a switch, first remove the appropriate selector knob, then disconnect the wire connector from the switch you're replacing. Use a small flathead screwdriver to help release the locking arm, then rotate the switch to remove. Install the new switch by inserting it into the control panel, then rotate to lock the switch into place. Connect the wire connector and align the knob on the switch stem. To replace the lid switch, drive motor, or the inner tub, you will need to remove the washer cabinet. Disconnect the lid switch wire connector. Using a flathead screwdriver, release the spring clips securing the cabinet to the rear panel. Tilt the cabinet toward you, slide forward, and remove. If you need to replace the lid switch, use a 5/16" socket or nut driver to unthread the screw securing the grounding wire. Depress the retaining tabs to release the lid switch wire connector from the main top. Using a Phillips-head screwdriver, unthread the lid switch mounting screws. Lift up the washer lid, depress the tab, and you can remove the old assembly. Install the new lid switch assembly by positioning it under the main top. Make sure the actuator lever is under the hinge arm. Thread and tighten the mounting screws to secure. Snap the wire connector into place and secure the grounding wire with the screw. If you need to uninstall the inner tub, first release the retaining tabs to detach the fill spout from the rear panel. Detach the hose from the bleach dispenser and release the tabs securing the tub ring. Remove the tub ring. Next, remove the upper agitator as shown earlier. Remove the bushing and use a 9/16" deep well socket to unthread the bolt securing the lower agitator. Remove the agitator. Lift the spacer and the plastic washer off of the transmission shaft. Now use a spanner wrench and hammer to loosen the tub nut by rotating it counterclockwise. Unthread the nut. You can now lift out the inner tub. If you need to uninstall the basket drive, first remove the drive block. Next, release the drain pump retaining clips and pull the pump off of the motor shaft. Disconnect the motor wire connectors. To make the procedure easier, we recommend uninstalling the motor. Use a 1/4" socket or nut driver to unthread the mounting screws. Release the bottom mounting clip. Support the motor, then release the top mounting clip and set the motor aside. Now carefully tip the appliance back and rest it on a towel or blanket. Detach the wire retainer from the transmission housing. Use a 1/2" socket to unthread the mounting bolts securing the transmission. You can now slide out the transmission. Turn the brake lever counterclockwise and you can pull out the basket drive. Replace or reinstall the basket drive by fully inserting it into the bottom of the outer tub. Make sure the thrust washer is in place on the transmission shaft, then reinstall the transmission. Thread and tighten the mounting bolts to secure. Snap the wire retainer into place. Return the washer to its upright position. Before you reinstall the drive motor, inspect the coupler for damage and replace if necessary. Now line up the prongs on the coupler cog with the holes in the isolator, then slide the motor into position. Reposition the mounting clips and snap them into place. Rethread and tighten the screws. Reconnect the motor wire connectors. Realign the drain pump on the motor shaft and secure the pump with the retaining clips. Reseat the drive block on the transmission shaft. Continue the reassembly by aligning the inner tub on the drive block. Thread the tub nut clockwise. Use the spanner wrench and hammer to tighten. Realign the plastic washer and the spacer. Reposition the lower agitator. Thread and tighten the bolt to secure. Replace the bushing. Realign the upper agitator and insert the cam and cog assembly. Insert the retainer and spring, then use the 1/2-inch square drive to tighten. Align the cover and snap on the dispenser or cap. Realign the tub ring on the outer tub and snap it into place. Secure the hose to the bleach dispenser. Reattach the fill spout to the rear panel. Now reinstall the cabinet by sliding the front edge of the cabinet underneath the base frame. Use your foot to push it into position. Align the 2 notches in each side of the cabinet with the tabs on each side of the base frame. Make sure the sides of the cabinet are properly aligned with the rear panel. Reinstall the spring clips to secure the cabinet. Reconnect the lid switch wire connector. Lower the control panel and snap the retaining clips into the slots in the main top. Rethread and tighten the screws to secure the control panel. Realign the end caps and snap them into place. Reattach the drain hose to the coupler and secure it with the clamp. Reattach the hot and cold water supply lines to the inlet valve. With the appliance fully reassembled, turn the water supply back on. Plug the power cord back in, and your washer should be ready for use. At Repair Clinic, we make fixing things easy. Thank you for supporting the production of these videos by purchasing your parts from our website.